Hey YouTube, Gabriel here from Gaia Feroz, and this is a video I've been trying to do for a long time, and I finally got my time to do it. So this is going to be, like the title says, what it is to be in this consciousness awakening time that we're all feeling. Now, this is something that's very interesting to me because and you'll hear my story in another video, but I was somebody who didn't believe in anything spiritual or etheric or esoteric or none of that. And even the idea of consciousness to me was, like, for most scientists, is a very bizarre concept that we can't quite explain. But now that I have been going through this process of changing, and like I said, my history, you can read a little bit on my website, and you'll probably see a lot more in other videos. To me, it was something that was just, it blew my mind when I started getting into all of this. And without getting too deep into the story, I changed in a matter of a month or a week, depending on how you see it, and it's been an ongoing process of change, and I feel like it's something that now that I have changed, I can see people desperate, to see what is going on. Why are they feeling this way? And this is the purpose of the video today. The most important thing is to notice that it's two things. I mean, you are either here because you want to know what it is to be expanding your consciousness, or, what is this consciousness awakening that a lot of people are calling it. It's a nice term. I don't think it describes everything as it is, but that's the limitation of language anyways, right? So to me is knowing that you are one of the two. You're either happy with your life and everything's perfect, in which case, you can probably watch this for entertainment, but not get much of it because, your life is perfect and, everything's great. Or you can be like the rest of us, where our life used to suck, or it still sucks in a way, and now we're getting into a more of an understanding of why this is happening, right? So I think the majority of you guys are on the latter. So we're all going through this process of conflict, of emotional changes, of just discontent in general with our life. And it doesn't have to be necessarily with our perception of who we are, but mostly about the external world, what we conceive as reality. And there are a lot of reasons why this is happening. A lot of us are very familiar, especially if you're in my generation, or around my generation. That we've been through probably the hardest process of as a generation growing up, the hardest process for us to integrate in society. And without getting into economy and baby boomers and all that stuff, you just know that this system has never given you anything substantial to say that, I'm happy, I'm the person I am, with all the things I have. And there's a reason for that. I'll make more videos about it, but this video is mainly about explaining how we have been feeling this discontent about society and our lives in general. I remember 10 years ago is when I started making these discoveries about how society works, the economy, the deep politics behind everything. And to me, it was just very disheartening because there was very little we could do about it, right? There were some movements, and I love some of the ideas of these movements, but they never got anywhere. And this is all because it's been a control system, and we know that now. There's no denying it. So the question is, why is this accelerating now? What is happening? And when I say this, I mean what's happening now that hasn't happened in the past. Well, is what we call the system is collapsing. This system is made of several factors, organizations, whatever you want to call it. I talk about it a lot in my content. I mention how obviously institutions like religions, politics, education system, the pharmacological industry, and the industry in general, they are all part of a system that's collapsing. And because we were brought up in this system, that's why we're feeling it. If you ask the native people from the Americas, the indigenous people, unless they're very involved with our society, they would not care. They don't feel anything, happening. They do feel some energetic changes and they're very happy about it. How come we're not happy about it? Well, that's the question. We have been ingrained into believing that this is the apex of society, the apex of humanity with our technological advancements and all these, trinkets that we have now. It's nonsense. I mean, and I'm not against technology. I think technology empowers us greatly, but the problem is that the system has created this technology is not working. It hasn't been working for a long time. So the collapse of this system, without getting into many details about what it is what's making people feel this change, a call for a consciousness awakening, and just a thirst for change. We can just call it that. A lot of people, and probably this is why you're here, have no idea what to do. And have no idea where to start, have no idea, if it's true or not, if it's just another gimmick, if it's just what's happening. Are you actually feeling it? Are you being manipulated into believing it? No, you're feeling this because it's actually happening. So the first thing you need to notice is that this system has never worked. The system has been in place for thousands of years. It has evolved over time and has been a control system for population. There's nothing new there. There's no conspiracy theory. People may take it the way they want, but it's the truth. And whoever wants to deny it is because they just simply don't want to believe, as opposed to can believe it. That's a big difference there. But the truth is that it's changing, it's collapsing, and there's no way around it. So a lot of the people they may say, well, now they have another system that they're going to put in place, and that's exactly what's going to happen. We're just going to go into another system that's going to control us and all that stuff. Well, I have several reasons to disbelieve that. I don't think that's going to happen. And that's part of why I am committing to do all this content for you guys, or for anybody, that this resonates with. So to me, the main message in this video is, why is this consciousness awakening happening at a global scale? Well, first is because the system is collapsing. The system where we live in is no longer able to sustain our needs. It's no longer able to seduce us into believing that we're part of it, and it's just no longer feasible to continue. Now, behind that, and this is going to be part of subsequent videos that I'm going to make, there are several forces that are behind the change that's happening. And I don't mean forces like humans only, but there's also an energetic backup that we have that's happening in the solar system and beyond. And this goes a lot into what people call spirituality. I think the word can be a little misleading. I think it's more of our nature as humans, if you want to put it that way. A lot of people associate spirituality with religion, which is a control system in and of itself as well. And it's something that I need to, just to say it out loud. It's not about religion. It's not about spirituality. It's about human nature finally coming out into full being. So this, we can call it spirituality from now, because I know a lot of people are familiarized with the word, and that's cool. So this spirituality that a lot of people are feeling is also accelerated by the energetic field that we're also crossing, like I said, in the solar system. And this is something that quantum physics has already determined. It's not mainstream yet because we know how mainstream is also controlled. And information control is basically what makes people stay in line. So this quantum field that we're going through is also accelerating this energetic change that we're also feeling inside. This is why a lot of people are going through emotional breakdowns, a lot of accelerating progress in what they may not perceive it as a spiritual progress. It's actually happening, and this again is part of subsequent videos that I'm going to continue to make and explain. But the main thing is that there are many things that are happening right now, and they're all coinciding with the system collapse here in planet Earth, and also the energetic quantum field that we're going through, and it's speeding up this process. So while this video or this message might have sounded a little bit gray, in terms of all the things I talk about, I want to give you the conclusion of the message and recap that a lot of people are feeling this consciousness awakening because the system is collapsing, and also because there is an energetic field that is just accelerating our growth as humans, our true nature. It's actually happening, and it is a good thing. I'm going to get ahead of my content here, but think about it this way: anything negative that has happened to you in the past is a lesson that you learn, and it makes you feel and be a better person. If not, then it's because you haven't processed something from that experience. But you can certainly look back and say, this experience in my past, which was very negative and it was very emotional, actually made me grow up as a better person. So all these changes that are happening at that level are also making you grow. They're accelerating that process because there's no going back. There's no there's only improving. That's just the nature of evolution in life, and life as we now know it. So all these things are happening also at a physical level, which is our system. We're very unhappy with our jobs. We're very unhappy with society in general, with social media, with politics, you name it. You know exactly what you're dissatisfied with. All those things are happening because you are also part of planet Earth and Gaia as a collective organism, and we're all going through this change together. There is no separation, no matter what the system has said in the past, no matter what evolution and conventional science has claimed. We are all together in this. And the same thing you're feeling, I am feeling, someone else is feeling, in their own expression. So we're all going through this together. I want you to know that it's all good, even though some of the things that we're going through are uncomfortable and they make us feel like it's a negative thing that's happening to us. It's all good in the end. And this consciousness awakening and the perception shift that we have to make is to perceive it now as what it really is: a growth, a spiritual growth, a human nature growth, whatever you want to call it. You as a separate entity that belongs in a collective organism are growing. We're all growing together. So with that, I want to finish this message, and hopefully you understand that all the things that are happening to you are great because you have to go through all of them. And this is what's called a consciousness awakening. It's for you to expand your awareness and find that even though the things that are happening, at your job, with your family, when you watch the news, if you even watch the news, but if you look on the internet, just in general, getting information from the world itself, it's not as bad as it looks. That's another thing. It's been manipulated a lot, so you get the idea that it's not that it's not good. And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain that in future videos. Like I said, there's a reason why the control system wants us to still be in that area of worry, of fear, of anger, of depression, anxiety, so on and so forth. But it's not happening. It's all an illusion that they're trying to maintain because that's what runs their system, but it's not true. And this whole feeling that you are getting it can be uncomfortable because you are getting out of the system because the system no longer supports us, and we've known this for a long time. So again, this is all positive, and this will be part of a big portion of what I do this in this channel now, because I needed a venue or a channel and just in general so I can put out organic content like this and just deliver a message. And that's just the reason why I'm doing this, for me, for you, and for the whole of the world and whoever wants to watch. So hopefully this message is good for you and it kind of resonates with what you're feeling. And rest assured that all the things that are happening are needed and they're expected, plus they are part of the transition that we're all going through for genuinely a different world. I'm not going to say, even though I know it is better, I know a lot of people are very negative about it, but it is a better world. It's not even a better, it's a whole new world that we are making this new decade in 2020 all the way to 2030. And this same year it's happening, a lot of things are happening, and I'll talk about them. There's a lot of technological improvements that are finally coming out to the public, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself here again, but there are very, very good news. If you read my article on the new decade or the new year, you should know a little bit about that. But with that, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching and getting, if you got all the way here, special thank you. And expect a lot more of these videos for me to just explain things to you the way I perceive it, and hopefully something that can be beneficial. So if you like this, if you want to see more content, then just click subscribe, of course. I am not a guru in YouTube, so this is all you get, just me talking. So if that's the kind of content you wanna see on your feed or on your inbox, then again, just click subscribe, and that's all I really care. I'm not monetizing this at all. This is all a communication channel for me. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.